Hey guys, welcome back for another video. On today's video, what I wanted to talk about was some of my favorite places in Texas that are not Franklin barbecue. This is a topic or like a very popular YouTube video kind of like title that I feel a lot of people do. And even though they do these things, I feel like there's still a lot of like key places that a lot of people don't talk about. Usually people who make these videos they're not in the barbecue circles. They'll still go to, Terry Black's, they'll go to, I think Leroy Lewis is one that's always kind of on there as well. But, I feel like a lot of them still kind of go to the same places, and I wanted to kind of give you my input about places that I think are doing things a little bit special or pushing things forward and things like that. And I just want to preface by saying, like, I think Franklin is great. And I think there are a lot of people who will lately now want to like roll their eyes at Franklin's being like, it's not that good. Like, I've had other places that are better. And I'm like, yeah, I would agree. I think there are certain places that I like better than Franklin as well. But to say that their food is not good is just wrong. I'll say it's pretty dang hard to find bad barbecue in especially Austin. Like, Austin is one where it's like, if your food is not up to par, like it just doesn't last. I just wanted to give you guys my list of places that if you're going to be in Texas at any point this summer, and if you're around these areas, these are places that I would definitely go and check out. When I used to live in Austin and I had friends that were visiting and they wanted to do like a day of barbecue, it's hard to do that. Even like one barbecue meal will put you down for the count if you're ordering too much at one place. But one of the places that I always bring people to is Valentina's. Valentina's for breakfast, like that real deal Holyfield, is one of my favorite bites of barbecue ever. When I used to live there, I lived in the south side of Austin, so it was like 10 minutes away from my apartment. So there are a lot of times where I found myself like finishing an overnight shift and getting a taco there before I went to bed. But man, like, I am not a person that really likes like heavy food on top of heavy food, which is why it surprised me the fact that I love that taco so much, with like the potatoes, the strip of bacon, the beans, the the whole egg, and that slice of brisket on top. But man, it is so good because everything just kind of melts together. If you guys have not been to Valentina's before, make sure you make time in the morning to get there for the breakfast tacos, and then I would say go take a long walk, get some coffee, do something, kind of digest everything, because it is pretty dang heavy. The second place that I want to talk about is Rollin Smoke. As of right now, I think Rollin Smoke is trying to look for a different location. So all these places that I'm talking about, I'll leave their Instagram and their addresses on the bottom. If Rollin Smoke finds a spot, I will definitely update it in the description down below. Rollin Smoke is, when I first heard about it, it's this like food truck that's on 6th Street, and I remember when I first heard of them, they had some very, very obscure hours, like late night hours, and I wasn't sure if it was just for that late night crowd or not, and how good the barbecue actually would be if you're really just trying to feed a bunch of drunk people. I've had it multiple times, but the last time I had it, everything was great. The brisket was on point. The ribs were sweet enough, it was smoky enough, it was cooked to the texture that I love. Oh man, I don't remember the name of this burrito, but kind of similar to what I was talking about Valentina's. Like, I don't love heavy on top of heavy, but they had this one burrito, there's mac and cheese in there. When I got it, I was like, I really don't know if I'm gonna like this thing, but it is really, really good. Next place I want to talk about is CM Smokehouse. They have a spot there that's Bull & Acres, and they have pickleball courts there. They have a full bar there, and then they have their food truck. He took an approach to barbecue and just kind of turned it a little bit, where now it's more bar food friendly. Their Crunchwrap Supreme is great. Their smoked wings are great. They also do smoked ribs. They fry them up and toss them in different sauces, and that's really great too. They do birria taco. They're still putting an element of smoke on everything that's on the menu itself, but it's in a way that's a little bit more approachable. So if you're looking for a place to kind of finish off like the tail end of your night, you would just want to like hang out, have a couple drinks, have some really great food, CM Smokehouse is the place to go. Next is Micklethwait. Man, it's one of those places that every single time I eat their food, I'm like, people don't respect this place enough. I've been there multiple times where, like, in terms of, like, for myself as a barbecue guy, like, there's things that I wish that were different. Like, sometimes I wish they trimmed a little more fat off their brisket and this and that. But even though I say that, every single time I eat it, I'm like, dude, this food is really, really good. And one of my favorite things that you guys know about me, if you guys see my review of Goldee's, is I love a good coleslaw, and I think theirs might be my favorite. And I don't know if it's for everybody, but they have a poppy seed lemon coleslaw, which I think is super refreshing, that I wish I could have more of. I usually generally get like a 2 or 3 meat plate, so I just get a small portion of it on there. But their grits are also very good. The potato salad's good. They bake their own bread too, so they also have different types of sausage rotating. They have pulled lamb. But I would say the thing that really set it apart or elevated even more for me this last time I went, usually I get brisket and one other meat. I usually don't get a 3 meat because the 3 meat for me generally would be additional rib on there. But I didn't particularly love the rib at Micklethwait when I've gone there previously. This last time that I went and I had that rib was exactly the texture I was looking for. When I ate that 3 meat plate, I was like, man, this is top 10 again. Next time I go back to Austin, I'm really, really looking forward to checking out Micklethwait again. Next on my list is J&L. So if you guys haven't seen my video of me doing a vlog doing that Leroy Lewis class, that's where we went with Jeremy Yoder and with Brad. J&L is just one of those places that's like there's nothing wrong with it. Like, everything is very good. Like, the brisket is textbook. It's perfect. The texture of it's great. The seasoning is great. The sides are all good. Again, if you guys watch my video of Goldee's where I was comparing their turkey to one other place, that one other place for me is J&L. Their turkey is really, really good too. He definitely has that pride in his product and what he does. And yeah, if you guys are looking for that type of food, like that Franklin type barbecue where it's textbook, everything is good, everything is like exactly the way it needs to be, but you don't want to wait in a giant line, definitely check out J&L. Next place on my list is Snow's. Now, at this point, I feel like even non-barbecue people know about Snow's, because especially since they've been on Netflix, they've been on other TV shows, they've been on other like YouTube channels and things like that. You know, people know about this place. And look, this is the thing. I'll be honest with you. 2 things have never happened to me when I've gone to Snow's. I've never waited in line for Snow's before. And 2, I've never paid for my meal there. And so I feel like I'm biased in saying that because, well, yeah, of course, I've never waited. I've never had to pay for my meal. So, like, yeah, of course it'd be on my list. But Snow's is truly a special place. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if it's my favorite barbecue. It's like a hangout spot for barbecue people, because every single time I've gone there, it's been like, oh, I haven't seen you in a couple months. Hey, I haven't seen you in a year. And it's like you just meet a bunch of people that, whether you haven't seen them in a long time or you've actually never met in person, you've only spoken to each other on Instagram before, it's like that kind of a place. And also Tootsie is there, Carrie's there. For me, I love going to see Khoi. Khoi is one of my favorite guys. Every single time I go there, he's always giving me new tips on cooking stuff. I'm always learning something new about like what they do, what he's trying to do, why their food tastes a certain way. And it's just like, man, every single time I go there, I'm like, I just know I have to go there with an open mind, because he always feeds me new information. Khoi, you and I have already talked about it, but we're gonna have to come together, meet sometime, and do a couple cooks together, because I need to pick your brain a little bit more. Next on my list is Leroy Lewis. I mean, I don't know what else to say other than that. I mean, I feel like most people, especially if you guys are following my channel, you have seen me be with the guys there all the time. You see me with Brad, you saw me with Evan, you see me at Windy City with them. So obviously I have a big connection with them, but I also want to stay connected with them because they're great people and their food is great too. If you guys haven't been to Leroy Lewis, man, that is a must go to spot if you're in Austin. Like, definitely get your traditional barbecue. If you want to see where barbecue is headed and you're interested to see where the trends are being set, like, you have to go there and eat their food. Next is gonna be Goldee's. If you guys haven't seen the video of me reviewing Goldee's, I'll leave a link in the top corner for you to click on and check out. Just spoiler alert, I already talked about just saying that why I do believe Goldee's deserves a #1 spot. So if you guys are around that area, man, definitely go and get that food, man. It is so good. Central Texas style barbecue run by young guns, and it's really good and something special. So yeah, if you guys haven't done so already, and you're gonna go to Texas, make sure you make some time to make that trip because it's definitely worth it. Next on my list is Truth Barbecue in Houston. Similar to Goldee's, it's one of those places that's like, you're taking this thing that you know and you're bringing it to another level of just kind of like, damn, like, this is how good it's supposed to be or can be. I mean, there's a reason why I moved to Houston to work with Leonard and wanted to help open that spot. Their food is just great. The attention to detail is great. Like, they continue to add small changes to the menu, and every single time they do so, I feel like it's a win. So yeah, if you guys find yourself in Houston, you're some of the best brisket I've had. Reed cooks some of the best ribs I ever had. I don't remember what day, but one day on the weekends they do hog as well, and that hog I've had, and it's as good as I've ever had. Yeah, it's a great spot. The location around that area, there's a lot of cool things to do there too. So yeah, if you guys find yourself in the heart of Houston, definitely check out Truth. These are places I'm just gonna mention. I don't have video footage of these places, but things that I personally think, you know, deserve a bigger spotlight. Anytime I go to Terry Black's now, as much as I want to go, I'm like, hey, can I shoot video and all that kind of stuff? And they're like, yeah, you can shoot whatever you want. But usually it's so busy that I just feel like I'm intruding on other people's like workspace. But also, every single time I go there, whether I'm talking to Mike or I'm talking to Mark, I just learn so much just from talking to them. If you guys find yourself in a place where you're in Austin or Dallas and most barbecue places are closed and you're not sure if a certain spot's run out of food, I promise you, if you go to Terry Black's, you will be able to get whatever you want no matter what time of day it is. Khoi Barbecue is another place that's in Houston that, you know, right now Don and Theo, they just do pop-ups, so they're not there regularly, but I think they're trying to do more. You find yourself in Houston on a weekend, and if you guys aren't following them on Instagram, make sure you do so. But if they have a pop-up, definitely make time to go. You know, as I'm trying to do something different with barbecue with my own background, not to say that I'm trying to do Korean barbecue, but at least use elements of it. Like, Khoi Barbecue is full on that, and I feel like they're just doing a way that I inspire to follow, where the barbecue aspect of it is so respected, but so is, you know, the food that they're trying to recreate from their own background as well. And those two things melt so well together. And again, Houston is kind of like the perfect spot for something like that to exist. And so yeah, if you guys are in Houston and you haven't been to a Khoi pop-up before, definitely do so. Or if you're visiting and you're happen to catch yourself there on the weekend, just double check to see if they're doing something, because if they are, it's a must go. And lastly, the place that I've been talking about and I will continue to talk about is 2M from San Antonio. If you guys have not been to 2M in San Antonio before, you need to go. It's one of those places that they elevated their game too early, and a lot of people almost replicated what they do, or at least different tweaks or kind of like their philosophy and how they do barbecue. And so I feel like they just got lost in a bunch of new places opening up, and now they're just like forgotten. I would say 2M is one of my favorite barbecue experiences. Again, the brisket just hits. Like, it is one of my favorite briskets, but I would say similar to like Valentina's with that Real Deal Holyfield, one of my favorite bites of barbecue is one of their homemade tortillas, a slice of brisket, They have pico and Nepales, and that combination right there for me is one of the best bites I've ever had. There's a lot of places that I did not mention. It's not because I don't think that they're great. It's not that because I don't think they deserve the spotlight or deserve to be talked about. It's just that right now, like, I haven't been to a bunch of them, and I hope to sometime soon. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, what are some of your favorite barbecue places, whether it's places that I've listed or places I didn't, but it might be your favorite place. Let us know where it is, and also at that place, what's your favorite thing to get. But if you guys like this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next one.